folks? It's Zion Hezekiah here. We're back. Toronto Talk Sports and more. Joined by Ainsley McPhail, Courtney J. Scarlett, and my man DJ Pembe. What's going on?
What's going on, brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, guys, we are continuing with our tribute to Kobe Bryant. And I thought it'd be cool for us to collectively, guys, share our most memorable moments of Kobe Bryant's 20-year NBA career. 20 years Kobe Bryant played in the NBA. And here's a bit of what Kobe accomplished in his 20 years. 5-time NBA champion, 2-time Finals MVP, NBA regular season MVP, 18-time NBA All-Star, 4-time NBA All-Star MVP, 11-time NBA All-Star, NBA first team, All-NBA first team, 9-time NBA All-Defensive first team, and he was a 2-time NBA scoring champion.
Wow.
That amongst many, many other accomplishments. Kobe Bean Bryant, the Black Mamba. What a great career. 20 years with the same franchise, the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's begin with you, Jimmy. I know that you're a huge Laker fan, just like myself. I know it hits hard. Obviously, you know, the passing of Kobe Bryant, the news is obviously still fresh. Just taking time to, you know, reflect on, you know, his basketball career. What's one of your most memorable moments of Kobe's illustrious 20-year career, man?
I mean, where do you begin, right? As a Laker fan, as a Kobe
There were
fan,
a lot of great moments.
Yeah, where do you pick? And even, you know, coming down here and thinking about it, and like you said, everything's still so somber. It really feels like a daze, right? You don't really believe that he's gone. But to be honest with you, like growing up, I grew up with Kobe, and earlier on you got to see a lot of his playful side. You know, he dropped a music video. You know, he collaborated with a lot of different musical artists. And I remember also one time.
Remember the video of him jumping over the Aston Martin?
So there's that.
There's that.
And then there's the one where he jumps over the pool of snakes.
Oh, yeah, that one
where
as
he
well.
joined the cast
I
of,
remember that.
what was that show?
Can't remember.
I can't remember.
A bunch of crazy white guys.
Yeah. But, you know, he jumped over the pool of snakes, and to me, that really stood out because, like, you don't see that. It's not something like, you know, the dunk contests have had the cars in them.
Sure.
You know, they've done a lot of things. You know, players have jumped over certain objects, but, you know, whether those snakes were like venomous or not, you know, the Mamba jumped over the snakes and slammed that ball. So I think that was
the Black Mamba.
That was definitely, I think, for my childhood, that was something great to see, and I think that stuck with me. Just, you know, a lot of people were talking about how he's a superhero, and to me, that really, you know, he said he took flight, and he
really
said
showed him outside of his element, right? Just outside of basketball, having fun. Any particular basketball moments on the court that kind of stick out for you?
I think what a lot of people underrate is that lob to Shaq.
Okay.
It shows,
lob, right?
it shows Kobe's, I think, giving side. A lot of people talk about Kobe's ability to just focus and score and become that scorer.
Well, he averaged, I believe, about 5 assists a game for his career. So
yeah,
he could
so
share the rock.
You know, he shared the rock, but I think in that moment, it was like you knew once Shaq, you know, dropped that basket from Kobe, you knew they were something special. You knew they were a force, and there were not. There wasn't going to be any team that was going to really, you know, stop them. And they showed that.
True winner. Thanks for sharing, man. Ainsley, let's go to you next. Memorable moment.
Well, I guess I'll start with a off the court moment as well. Watching him watch Dear Basketball, and when then they ascended and everyone was clapping for him. I rewatched that again, and obviously got very emotional because, as everyone's been saying this week, even non-sports fans have been paying tribute, which goes to show how impactful he was as a
his
human
reach
being.
was huge. Oh yeah.
So, Dear Basketball can be about anything. It can be
very true.
Dear art, dear comedy, dear music. You know, and so I think that's why his ability to transcend cultures, men, women, ages, it doesn't matter. And that whole Mamba mentality that everyone's talking about really does apply to everything in life.
Yeah.
Courts.
Well, I'll just preface this by saying, you know me, Hez. I've never a Laker fan.
Come on, Courts. Come on.
Never liked the Lakers.
No?
Wasn't a big Kobe fan, but I appreciate.
You were a hater.
I was a hater. I was a Kobe
right.
hater, just because he was so great. But I appreciated him, though.
Sure,
I mean,
Did you hear that? Just because he was so great.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's
just it.
hate on the greatness.
That's
yeah.
Tom Brady for me. Anyways.
But if I had to think about my favorite moment, looking off the court, I just say his interaction with his daughters. If it's his family, but in particular, Gigi, you see them at the basketball games together, sitting there.
Absolutely.
He's introducing her to all the players, and just that love. I mean, I'm a father. I have a daughter, and I look to emulate something like that when my daughter grows up. Just be there for her in every step of the way,
training them, imparting wisdom.
Absolutely. So just seeing that, and yeah, that was one of my favorite off court moments. And DJ, to your point, in terms of on court, that lob, that was something, man. I mean,
it really shook me. Like as a young kid, like him, Shaq. We knew what Shaq was.
Yep.
I think that was the big thing. We knew what Shaq was, and we knew he was dominant. Yep. But for Kobe to give up that ball and to throw it up to him really showed, like, yeah, I know who you are, but watch for me. Like,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean? And I'm here.
And just given that game, Game 7, Western Conference Finals, this is their first championship. Sorry, the Western Conference Finals, the first time they're going into the championship together. They were down, and that lob just, when I saw that gave me goosebumps. I'm like, these guys are for real. They went on to win, 3 in a row after that. That for me, that just, when I saw that, like, Kobe, the real deal.
You talking about it right now? Sorry, you talking about it. I get like a chill down my back. I get the shivers. It's crazy to me. It's surreal, man.
Definitely
for sure.
How about you, Hez?
So yeah, I would say for me, and you're a part of this as well, Court. So 2008, which was a very special year for me, was the year my first child was born. Shout out to Zaloam. And, that year, actually shortly thereafter, because he was actually born. Yeah, he shares the same birthday as his uncle, Courtney, here. My son and my brother have the same birthday, June the 6th. So it was right in the middle of the NBA playoffs, the Lakers and the Celtics. And you guys took it to us.
We did. That was sweet.
It wasn't pretty, especially Game 6. I believe they lost by 30 or whatever it was. It wasn't cute at all. But you know what? Going into the next year, 2009, when they imparted their, revenge. Yeah. That was, probably one of my most memorable moments. What it was for me, it was really, because Kobe, he really had something to prove, did he not? As far as, leading a team to a championship, winning his first ring without Shaq.
Being the main guy.
And from a historical standpoint, as far as NBA basketball is concerned, guys, that whole rivalry, the historical rivalry between the Celtics and the Lakers, and we've seen it, Kobe talked about it in past interviews, just how much that championship meant to him, beating the Celtics, because it really stung. He actually talked about that loss in 2008 stinging even worse than the 2004 loss to the Detroit Pistons. So beating Boston in 2009, and then obviously they repeated, the next year. That was, for me, one of my most memorable moments of Kobe as far as on the court. And it was good getting revenge against your Celtics.
We were at Wegs for game. For game 7.
We tore that place up.
Man.
We had some fun times back then. So guys, in our intro segment, we collectively spoke about obviously how we felt when we heard the news, the impact of Kobe's death. And obviously it's still fresh, I'm sure, for all of us and those who are tuning in and watching. Just real quick as we wind down here, as far as the legacy of Kobe Bryant, and you guys touched on it as far as the stuff off the court and his relationship, with family and his daughters and this and that. Maybe I'll just throw it to you, Ainsley. What would you say in closing, just as far as the legacy that Kobe Bryant leaves behind?
Are there words? I think all of us are speechless. And as cliche as it sounds, where is there to go from here? We are in this fog. It's all about the memories. It's all about every single individual memory. you probably feel like he helped raise you, honestly, who helped you become the man that you are today. And I know that sounds crazy because you didn't meet him, or maybe you did. I don't know.
I wish.
You meet him?
I wish.
Right?
I did.
But he helped shape you who you are right now.
For sure.
Yeah.
So the fact that he had the ability to do that for so many people,
that impact.
Yeah.
that's where you go from here.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
What's in your heart now?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's just, the Mamba mentality.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to think about that you can achieve anything you set your mind to, and to just give it your 100%. Don't let anything stand in your way. Don't hold back. Have that Mamba mentality.
He was just so committed to excellence and
Yeah.
to, just winning and, being the best. And absolutely. DJ.
You guys have touched on a lot of points, right? His mentality, the type of person he is, raising generations.
Mm.
I think for me, what really stood out is, like, growing up, you got to witness his greatness on the court, and that was mainly what it was. But the few years after his retirement, I think really showed who Kobe Bryant was.
Oh, yeah. He was a lot more transparent.
Right? And the fact that he had, the Mamba School, the fact that, he was giving back to the community, and what he was really trying to do for women's basketball.
Oh, that was
is
huge.
massive.
Absolutely.
And, Gigi coming up and, potentially being the face of that.
That's right.
Is really, really crazy. And to see her gone now is also insane. So I really hope that with his legacy, people continue that, right? We heard what LeBron James said in his tweet and in his release of his thoughts, but he wants to continue his legacy based on that. And I think that's really important for us to also keep is, what he was trying to accomplish for equality for women, and also what he was trying to do for the community. And taking that, we lost Nipsey Hussle, who was big in the community. Kobe Bryant, also big in the community. We need to focus on the communities. We need to grow the communities, and we need to bring everybody with us.
Definitely.
And I think that's what he was all about.
Yeah.
Well said, and a perfect way to close. What I'll say, just to officially bring this to a close, guys, Kobe Bryant, the man, the legend, thank you for inspiring many, many generations. I would honestly say that this particular situation, obviously this untimely passing of Kobe Bryant, is a humble reminder to all of us just how precious life is, and that tomorrow is never guaranteed. Tomorrow is never promised. So the encouragement to every one of us is to, do the right thing, love your loved ones, love everyone, show love to everyone, live life to the fullest, and just want to say Kobe, and of course, once again, going back to the other victims of the horrific helicopter crash, may you all rest in peace, and our thoughts and prayers go out to all of the family members of all the victims. So, guys, thanks for sharing your perspectives. This is Zion Hezekiah signing out. Toronto Talk Sports and more. Mamba out.
Thank you for watching. Please click the like button and leave us a comment with your feedback. And don't forget to subscribe with notifications to see more engaging and interactive content. Toronto Talk Sports and more. For the love of the six, let's connect.